looks awful.
Well, it matches the rest of the town.
Rev up your engines, fellas! Welcome back to our channel. I hope you're as excited to watch this video as I am to explore the future of our beloved Cars franchise. Today, we have some exciting news for all of the Cars franchise enthusiasts out there. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the thrilling realm of Cars 4 and discover how it promises to be an exciting departure from the previous films.
This is what I'm talking about. Whoa, didn't know about those.
Just a fair warning, we'll unveil the secrets and surprises that await in this highly anticipated installment of the successful franchise. Let's start off with a bit of info about the Cars franchise, shall we?
Hey, Miss Sally, may I have this cruise?
Of course, Mater.
Even if you haven't seen it, you're probably familiar with the Cars franchise. Created by John, Cars takes place in a fantasy world populated by talking vehicles, hence the title. All of the 3 released films so far have been hugely successful, which is, let's face it, a rare thing. Nowadays, most sequels are using the same story over and over again, and viewers are tired of seeing the oh-so-repetitive plot. That, however, is not the case with Cars, as every new installment was more and more successful than its predecessor. Considering this success, the space the franchise left for a 4th film, and of course, the thousands of fans all over the world begging Pixar to make another film, we can't help but wonder, why is Pixar not working on Cars 4? Now I know what you're all thinking. Cars is not as successful as some other Pixar franchises such as Toy Stories and Monsters, Inc. And that's true, but Cars is, as mentioned before, one of those rare franchises that leave enough space for many continuations. By many, I think 4.
Mater would want you to race.
All right. For Mater.
4 films seems like enough, and this way fans can actually see a proper conclusion to the franchise. Hopefully, the amazingly talented cast ensemble from the previous films would all return to reprise their roles, because they were truly one of the most prominent features of the trilogy. The 3rd installment of the franchise, Cars 3, was followed by critical acclaim, and a lot of critics agree that the 3rd flick is way better than the 2nd one. This is mainly because Cars 3 explores some darker themes and more complicated storylines. But these 3 films are not the only Cars products. The franchise was followed by numerous short films, video games, and the spin-off movie franchise Planes. The Cars franchise and its lead, Owen Wilson's Lightning McQueen, have grossed over $1 billion worldwide, which is yet another proof that Cars 4 will happen, and it's just a matter of time until Disney comes up with an official announcement. This only brings us to Cars 4 latest news.
Oh, I'll get him on the horn. Get it? On the horn?
More and more rumors suggesting Cars 4 is already in development are circulating on the internet. The rumors also suggest that the 3rd film will be nothing like its predecessors. Back in 2022, Disney Plus released the Cars on the Road series. Back then, people thought that if Disney worked on the Cars series, they would also work on the 4th installment. But it looked like the company didn't really care about Cars, as they were short on updates for years. However, Owen Wilson's comments during the press tour for Cars 3 promised that this is not the end and a 4th installment will come sooner or later. On the press tour, Wilson basically confirmed that he would be involved in the potential Cars 4. We should also mention that Pixar was not really into sequels in the previous years. Following the release of Toy Story 4, the producer, Mark, also said that sequels are no longer their thing and the company would focus on creating original projects instead. But now Disney confirmed that Inside Out 2 will come out in a year. So yeah, looks like the fellas at Pixar and Disney changed their minds, and they'll continue making remakes, reboots, sequels, and spin-offs, expanding the Cars franchise.
Excuse me. What are you selling?
Headlights, monsieur, headlights!
What the?
Could this happen? Of course. Although we're still waiting for Cars 4 to be officially confirmed, we can jump into some older interviews and see what the initial plan for the plot of the 4th installment was. Back in 2017, the producers Kevin and Andrea did an interview with Collider, discussing the possibility of the 4th film happening. Like any sequel from Toy Story 4 to Incredibles 2, as long as it's a good story to tell, it's worth investing. We do love these characters. We love them as much as the public does. As mentioned before, Owen Wilson also showed interest in making another Cars movie. More precisely, he talked about his involvement in a potential Lightning McQueen sequel. I would imagine that if they do another one, it'll be something pretty cool, but yeah, maybe like Lightning McQueen and sort of like a thriller. Maybe that could be something, Wilson told Cinema Blend in 2017. Before we continue, let's take a pit stop and explore more intriguing film trivia. Did you know that Cars wasn't always planned to be an animated film. Yes, that's right. The initial plan was to make Cars a live-action film. Oh, make sure to smash that like button if you haven't done it already, and of course, let me know if you think the Cars franchise deserves to go beyond its third installment. So, if Disney greenlights another installment soon, who would return?
I am at home, and my mama is right here. Mama!
Well, we really hope to hear all the familiar voices because all actors were truly the perfect fit for their roles. So if Cars 4 happens, we expect to see Owen Wilson as Lightning McQueen. He is, after all, the lead role. As for mentioned back in 2017, he said that he would gladly return to reprise his role. But he also said he would return under one condition: if the story is good. This is a really important thing because for some actors, it's crucial that the film they're in receives critical acclaim. And for these actors, it's more about the experience than it is about the money. Another actor we would probably see in the next film is Larry the Cable Guy as Mater. In an interview in 2020, Larry the Cable Guy said he would be happy to return and reprise his role if there is a new movie, per report by Pop Culture. His remarks were quite interesting. That was a fun thing to do. You would think if you put in $1 billion theme park, you probably got to keep fuel in the tank, you would think, so I don't know. Some rumors even suggest that in Cars 4, a different actor would play the lead role, and thus the film will focus on a different character. What do you guys think about this? Another cast member who could potentially return is Cristela Alonso as Cruz Ramirez, but again, these are only theories, and all we can do is wait for Disney to confirm the film. This, however, doesn't stop us from going into some mind-blowing theories and ideas.
Oh, I'm not the one who activated it. Would anyone else like to try?
So let's say Disney and Pixar is still looking for a way to continue the story. Let's say they are looking for a proper story to continue the franchise and thus give fans what they deserve. Well, maybe they should look into Owen's fascinating SNL skit. Owen parodied a potential fourth film during his appearance on SNL while doing the voice acting for the fake movie. In the scene, Mikey Day and Punky Johnson appear as well as Pixar executives. Owen's co-star, Larry, he voices Mater in the film, appears too and reads his lines beside Owen. Larry says the R word, to which Owen replies, "This is a complete betrayal of a beloved character and I don't want any part of it." And then the executives show him his contract from Disney. This is when Owen's tone of voice changes and he then becomes interested in the job. Well, there you go, Disney, the perfect plot for Cars 4. And that wraps up our exploration of the exciting possibilities that lie ahead in Cars 4. We hope you enjoyed this video. Do you want to see Lightning McQueen and his extraordinary automotive companions again? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay updated on all of our future film revelations. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, keep those wheels spinning.
Some roadside assistance.
She was talking to me, Ivan.
Oh, really? Prove it.
Don't fight over me.